we will be doing a collage. A floral collage is what I decided to do this week. It's pretty simple. I'll show you the supplies and step-by-steps of how you'll be completing something that looks along the lines of this one. You'll need a piece of paper. This is just a regular piece of thicker paper, but it doesn't have to necessarily be as thick. It can just be a regular size printer paper if you have that. Also, we'll need some, obviously, magazines. You can have a few different kinds, so you can get a lot of different images for your magazine clippings. You'll need scissors to cut out your clippings from your magazines. And then we also have this clear drying glue that is made specifically for these kind of magazine collage projects. You can also use regular Elmer's glue if you don't have this, or Mod Podge if you guys know what that is. This is kind of basically the same thing. Also, this is a really good brush if you have a foam brush to brush down the clear coat of glue. You can just use a regular paintbrush if you don't have one of these foam brushes, but a foam brush works really well. So we don't really need a lot today. Just paper, magazine, scissors, glue, something to brush the glue with, and that's all you'll need for your supplies. So for my background color, I chose to just find a bunch of different magazine clippings that were black. And you can go really pretty free with this. You don't have to use black, but you can use just one solid color for your background. And you can put some patterns in there. I found some little polka dots that I want to have in my collage. I found a couple words that I really like. Make this fun and make it your own. The reason for this collage is I found a little bit of red. Don't want that. But the reason for this collage is to make it your own. So if you don't want to use black, use a different color. Just make sure it's a solid color. This is for our background. Okay, going to our stems and leaves. So this collage is floral. And so find a bunch of different shades of green, and that will make it a lot more interesting in your collage. We also have any color that you want for your flowers. I chose pink because it pops, especially against my black background, but you can choose whatever color you want. Remember, this is yours, and I just love pink, but if you're not a pink person, maybe you want blue or any color you want. You don't have to stick with one color either. Just for me personally, I wanted to stick with this pink color, but notice again, I have bright pink. I have a darker, almost purple over here. I had a little bit of red just to make it a little bit more interesting. This is almost a light purple, but in the same color group family for our flowers. This step is for the background of our collage. You can really just start playing around with it, how you want all of your pieces to be in here. And so this might take a little bit for you because you can kind of play around with it as much as you want, but just make sure that you have the whole entire paper covered by the end. And you just lay them out first, just like this, no glue. We're just kind of planning it out. Maybe I want this one here. It's going to look super interesting with all the different textures and words, but they're all in the same black color family. And that's what I wanted. So you can play around with it. This is just my first go at it, so I might change things up a bit, but make sure you get all of it covered. And we're going to glue all of this on. I'll show you how the glue works. So that's how your background will look when you're just planning it out first. We're going to glue all this on, and then I'll show you how to do the flowers. This glue is a little bit goes a long way. So you're just going to take a little dab at the corner, lay it out, pretend like I'm doing the whole thing, okay? And you're going to glue it on right where you want it. Pretty simple, right? That's our gluing step. We're going to glue the entire background now. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with our stems and leaves. And leaves to make our flowers on top of our background. And I'm going to make 3 flowers. You can make as many as you want, but 3 is a good number. So make sure that you find pieces of green magazine clippings, and they don't have to be exactly alike, but make sure that they're long enough so they can be fit as stems onto the collage. So just kind of play around with that. You can have one be smaller than the other. So I'm probably going to trim these down. I'm going to trim them down to whatever size I want them to be. I might want to make them a little bit skinnier too, so I'm going to cut them. But this is yours, so you're kind of in charge of how you want your flowers to look. If you want skinny stems, thick stems, I'm going to trim these down, and then I'll show you how we're going to add on the leaves to our flowers. Okay, I just made my stems. I cut them down so they were a little bit skinnier and different lengths. The middle one for me is going to be the tallest. You can have more than 3 flowers if you want, guys. This is yours, remember? So don't do it the same as mine. I want to see different collages. You'll need your scissors to make your leaves. We're going to go on to our leaves next. I just cut mine into the shape of leaves. They are not perfect. I don't want them to be perfect because a collage is supposed to show the variety and texture and color and shape. And so they're kind of the shape of leaves. Leaves kind of are like an eye shape, like an upside down. This is like a raindrop. I cut it into the shape of what a leaf would be. And you kind of just play around and see where you'd like your leaves to be. So maybe I want this one. Oh, that's too big. I want this one here. And you can kind of play around with it and have like one overlapping another one and just make it pleasing to the eye. So like different shades, the more shades, the better. This one's kind of big. I kind of like it there. Okay, this looks nice. I'm going to go back, use my brush, glue all these on, and then I will show you how to do the flowers. I'm going to do tulips for my flowers. So this is what I'm going to show you guys to do. I just cut 2 larger pieces of my pink clippings that I found to make my 3 flowers. This is going to be kind of like the base layer. And then I'm going to add little clippings that I made onto the flower. So it shows that variety again in texture and shade of color. So what I'll do is I'll just put that on. I think I want this one here. This is already looking so cute. And that one there. I'm going to glue all those on. Okay. And then what I'm going to do after that, what you're going to do is you're going to take little clippings, and you can do this randomly. You can take your time and really play around and see how you want it. But we want some texture on top of these solid colors of flowers with different shades. I think I want some, this is actually strawberry ice cream that I found. So if you can put like things like food or like different textures, I'm pretty sure this is from like a skirt. I'm going to put that in this one. So really play around with it until you get as many clippings as you want to make it the same size as your flower so it doesn't really overlap. Like we don't want this going all the way up here. And so I'm going to glue all that down and we'll be done. And I'll show you my final product. Okay, so I have just gotten done with gluing all of these flowers on, and I put little different textures on top of my flowers so you can really see all the interesting details. One of the most important things while you're doing this is making sure that you're not stressing too much about this. It's supposed to be relaxing. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to be all about having fun and a relaxing activity. Really, you could do this with your kids. I think they would really have fun with it. So here's how mine turned out. I hope that everybody has a great rest of the week, and please share your collages if you get around to making this in the next week or 2. And you can even comment on this video and show us what you got. Show us in a photo. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.